Hello and
welcome to this week's Hoosier News Source. I'm Kevin Wang.
And I'm
Chinese
Diana.
President Hu Jintao's 4-day state visit to the United States last month was an important one for American diplomacy. Last Thursday, John Pomfret, a veteran foreign correspondent for the Washington Post, spoke to more than 100 people at IU about his take on this rising superpower in the East. Pomfret is an award-winning journalist who spent more than 15 years in Asia observing U.S. relations with Asian countries. His expertise in that region gave him a broad knowledge of Asian affairs. During last week's lecture, using the topic from his book China Lessons, Pomfret presented his ideas on China's role in the world economy and its future.
As we turn to year 2011, great things are already happening to our campus. For the second straight year, Kiplinger's personal finance ranked IU on its top 30 list among 100 best values in public colleges. The official ranking, according to Kiplinger's website, recognized public schools that, quote, deliver a stellar education at an affordable price. By doing that, the magazine looked at more than 500 four-year public universities in the country and selected the most cost-effective and academically distinguished ones. IU ranked the 30th overall this year, third among Big Ten schools, only behind University of Wisconsin and University of Michigan.
Before Congressman Paul went into his speech, he had a short press conference meeting with media that will be covering his speech Monday night.
Agreed that something must be improved in order to prevent such cases from happening again in the future, no matter it is race-related or just a campus safety issue. Reporting from IU campus, Kevin Wang, Hoosier News Source.
We still don't know how far the business of online selling can go in the future, but we do know that more and more students and even professors are realizing that there are ways to save the cost.
As you can see, there are many items displayed at this year's celebration. But what really brings people together is the idea of sharing that moment of silence and thought within this Latino diaspora. I'm Kevin Wang here with Hoosier News Source.
So what can we learn? Well, you might think that in a city like Bloomington, where energy consuming largely relies on natural resources like gas and coal, discussion on energy saving does not make too much sense. Folks like Jerry Milson might have the same concern as well, but at least they are out there thinking about what if they can at least do something small to make a big difference. Don't let them go along. If they can do it, you can do as well. This is your news for today. I'm Kevin Wang reporting from Bloomington. With November's midterm election in the U.S. Congress coming just around the corner, the national debate over partisan politics is heating up, spreading from politicians in Washington, D.C. to college students here in Bloomington. Tonight, IU Democrats and Republicans are offering their perspectives on the direction America is going in the new decade. Though it has been 10 years since 19-year-old IU student Jill Berman lost her life in the year 2000. People from in and outside Bloomington are still inspired by her story and life that leads us toward a positive direction in the future. During her 25 years at IU and 16 years at La Casa, Lillian Casillas has become a pioneer of Latino culture post here on our campus and in our community. She is using her own examples to demonstrate there are many people just around us who have been committing themselves in doing good to our society, connecting you and me. I'm Kevin Wang here with Hoosier News Source.
For 3 weeks, the world has been following the uprising in Egypt, a country located in one of the most significant regions in the world, linking North Africa and West Asia. And we have been asking, what does this uprising mean to the country, to the world, and most importantly, to its own people? Now here in Bloomington, we have 2 students who natively come from that region to tell us a story.
My feelings? First time, it was terrible. The first date, like, I can't express that. It was like I want to walk up in my dreams.
Egyptian student Ahmed Kadous knew something was seriously wrong with his country when its president Hosni Mubarak, an 82-year-old man who took over the country even years before Ahmed was born, was still in position.
How can you feel that? 30 years.
And that's why, though he's only away from home for 3 months, Ahmed said he's not surprised to know what happened back on January the 25th on the streets of the Egyptian capital, Cairo. a protest which turned out to shock the world.
The Egyptian people feel like we can do anything. We can do protests, like we can request our orders, our things. We want the rights.
But of course, the quills touched his heart.
Can you imagine that people protect their city, not the police?
I know the government has, take the police away.
Take the police away from the streets. So it's like ridiculous. Why you took the policemen from the streets and allowed the prisoners to go out from the prison and steal? Why?
While preparing for the MBA program at IU, Ahmed prays for his family and 80 million Egyptians whose lives have been deeply affected.
Do you pray for your country every day?
Yes, of course. Every moment, every minute.
Being thousands of miles away from home, Ahmed does not want to let cultural barrier put him in lonely position.
Because I'm living with 3 American roommates, I like them, and they make me happy all the time. They make sure that I'm fine and my family fine. And of course, I find, American people are friendly here.
He refuses to struggle in silence.
They are friendly and not nervous, keeping smiling everywhere.
When Ahmed is not reading his GMAT textbook, he keeps his eyes on his home. And since he cannot see it from nowhere here in Bloomington, he relies on the news media. And so does his compatriot Amor Talat, who came to the States 4 years ago to accompany his wife, now an IU senior. Just like Ahmed and any other Egyptians in Bloomington, Amor said he hopes he can fly home immediately to do something.
We have so much damage now in the country and stuff, so I was talking to one of my friends and he was telling me I wish I can live in Egypt from 10 days ago.
Though he understands it probably won't help anything.
The people in Tahrir Square, they're looking for the change and they're looking for it to happen immediately. And they at the same time they don't want the president Hosni Mubarak to stay in power anymore because they cannot trust his words anymore.
So we are curious, what exactly went wrong in this country?
Actually, the problem that our government is pretty serious about this stuff. So we don't have any kind of freedom of speech. Anybody who would try to say something, they will get either detained or killed and stuff.
Politics never stop evolving around the world, and even politicians themselves cannot predict exactly what will happen in the future. So we want to ask students like Ahmed and Amor, what exactly do they care about?
I don't want this gap to go wider. I just we need to just get back together to work on getting the old Egypt back with a new government.
I just contact with my family. Are you okay? Everything going well? Okay. Thanks. And